the City.
What's going on, St. Louis City fans? Welcome to Soul of the City. My name is Riley. Today I am joined with Marlo and Ian. Today is May the 10th, and we've just been defeated by a pretty battered Chicago side who just lost a manager in Chicago in front of probably 2,000 fans. Felt pretty bad. Not a super entertaining game as a City fan. And I'm sure these two who are next to me are not going to have as kind of words as I have.
No, yeah. I've got a sneaky suspicion that it smells horrible on Soldier Field. And that's because, let me just run you through the lineup. Jensen, dog shit. Pompeu, dog shit. Aziel Jackson, dog shit. Leuven, dog shit. Stroud, dog shit. Watts, dog shit. Parker, dog shit. Hebert, dog shit. Lunt, dog shit.
Double dog shit.
Tell me any of those players played well yesterday.
Yeah, that was 10 out of 11 on the field for City.
Pedro and Perez had all right games. Miggy had a great game. Miggy played well.
The 18-year-old.
Yeah, the 18-year-old.
The 18-year-old
played the best game in our cup tie.
He put on for his City.
He did.
And let's give him his flowers now before we really break down who was a poor performer. Miguel Perez, I mean, what a kid. That guy, he was the man in the City game. He actually, by FOTMob reporting standards, he was man of the match in a 2-1 loss, which speaks so much to how well he played. Clogged passing lanes, was super defensively aware to help out the back line. The back line was definitely not equipped to deal with a lot of what Chicago had for us. But Miggy was the shining star in this game, and it felt really good to see him perform well.
Yeah, absolutely. We could have been a lot worse if he wasn't there. Just run it down from the start of the game. We came out of sleep, which I don't know how a team from St. Louis can walk into a Chicago stadium, and
our rival,
be asleep within the first minute of the game. But yeah, it was a header over the top.
Third minute.
Third minute. Hebert and Pedro didn't communicate in any way. Kamara makes the run in. Hebert tries to make a last-ditch tackle that basically toe pokes the ball and gives him a chip that puts it right over Lunt. And that's how we go down 1-0 in the first 3 minutes of the game, which I don't know how Carnell hasn't drilled it into this team that we cannot go down 1-0 in the third minute of a game. We can't score goals right now.
Yeah.
And what's the MLS going to do after they go 1-up? They're going to low block us to death.
Park it.
Because that's what happened against Portland. They scored early, and then we struggled until the...
Park it.
I don't know, last minutes with Hebert getting the game-winning goal. Once they park the bus, I feel like that's our kryptonite.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I mean, it's horrible, especially when we don't have a striker. If there was a game where you saw the absence of any big bodies in the box or anyone that just had the positional wherewithal of a striker like Gio, I know he isn't the true target man that Klaus is, but there were balls being played in, drilled across low and high that just needed someone on the end of them, and the only thing that we ever had coming in was a back post run from Jensen or Stroud, and it's never making it there. We need the big body in the box.
The low block too is just we had more, well, not more, but almost as many accurate passes that they had total passes.
Yeah.
And we also had I think 199 passes just in their half.
That's insane.
We controlled, but we just, like you said, no striker, no. Gio, I love Gio. I've said it before. He's one of my favorites, but I agree he's not a real striker.
Yeah, and when he was at, I forget what Ligue 2 side he played for, but when he was there, he was playing right winger, and you can see that in his play. He wants to kind of interconnect with other players and be a little tricky. I don't think he's running at people like Celio would. And I called Celio dog shit a little harsh because he did look really good last night. He was making a lot of very positive plays and just not taking the shot. I said something in our friend group chat last night about our players, specifically Celio, Stroud, and Leuven, watching their favorite Disney movie before they hit the ball because no one would shoot, man. No one.
Yeah. I feel like with our high press too, like we'll do the high press, we'll get the ball back, and then we're like, now what? What do we do now?
Yeah, we have
There's no plan. There's like just run, get the ball, and then it was like panic.
There's no possessional tactic whatsoever.
And
it's unfortunate because
we've been having a lot of possession recently.
Where I've seen Miggy shine well is on offensive transition, is being in the middle of the park and finding an open pass lane, but people won't even look to him. There were multiple times in that game where you can spot Miggy out in between several Chicago players, and that ball is begging to be played into the middle of the park so he can turn and either redistribute it outside or take somebody on himself to do something in the middle of the park, but nobody is finding him because there's no plan. There's nothing.
Yeah, and I think that Carnell has, some responsibility in this.
See, when you're going at it for the players, like that's how I feel to Carnell.
Really?
Like I feel like he has he has his plan, but then if it doesn't work, if we go down early, he doesn't adapt. There's no now what? There's no
it's let me sub on guys in the 60th minute that I hope inject some kind of energy and pace into the team, and if that doesn't work, we're shit out of luck.
Yeah, and sometimes the subs are either a little too late or it's just not the right ones, and that's why I'm not feeling Carnell recently.
Yeah, what was the substitution that we did? It was Jensen plus
Pedro
for Blom and Vasilev.
No, Blom came on way later.
Yeah, I was about to say
Nico and Vasilev.
Oh, okay.
No, it was Nico and Ostrak first.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Jensen for Ostrak.
Yeah,
and what was it?
No,
Aziel Jackson for Gio.
Right. Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
To be fair for Gio, if he would have started that game, I could have seen him scoring.
Yeah,
because
he came on instantly.
And was instantly the best player on our team.
Yeah,
other than Miggy, he looked great. I remember at one point in the second half, someone lasered. That's one thing I'm sick of seeing is people just lasering the ball at other people on our team. But some people can handle it better than others. You saw Gio get a ball lasered at him in the air, and he just takes it off the chest and plays a ball in one turn. And it was a beautiful play, and Stroud wasn't able to do anything with it as usual. But different story with him.
Didn't you have him on start?
I cannot believe what I said literally a week ago today. I totally retract my statement. I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. But
it wasn't even a week ago. It was on Sunday.
No. Oh yeah.
It was after the Dallas game.
It's the MLS. The form of these players can change overnight is what I've seen. Because at the start of the season, we're watching Leuven and he's dictating play. He's passing the ball well. And throughout the season, he has really started to show that maybe he's not that Cam that we really want. Maybe he truly is someone who wants to sit deep the whole game and not even give him those forward opportunities to go up and shoot the ball. I still think he's totally our man on dead balls, corner kicks. His delivery is really good. But
is it? That's what I'm talking about. In the group chat, we talked about it. I feel like I was the odd man out with Leuven when it came to Leuven.
No,
because he had we had 10 corners. He takes the corners. Mm-hmm. 2 were accurate. The one that went to Stroud, that Stroud just missed.
Yep.
That
and that was our way. That's our way to get back into the game.
You have to put that on target.
Yeah, at least.
And then the goal that Miggy had. Mm-hmm. But all the other corners were terrible. They were caught by their goalkeeper every single time. Mm-hmm. And that can't happen. You got if he catches it, that's even worse. You want him to have to punch it out or not come out because it's in a dangerous position.
I think that's also on Carnell because I think part of it is that obviously that's a tactical thing. We had players lining up on the goal line basically right in front of their goalie. Either Carnell saw something in film or it's a new corner drill we're trying to work on, and he thought this was a good game to pull it out and be let's just keep ripping this one and hope it works. It didn't.
After 5 times, you got to be all right, switch it
up.
Something
else, man, yeah.
You're good.
I was going to say the other thing about what you had said about some of our players just hitting the shit out of the ball at their teammates is when I watch us on trying to play from the flank, when we're cutting inside, we are constantly making passes into traffic, into heavy traffic. That's why I feel like these players are trying to compensate and just drill this ball to try to force it through to a player in the middle when in reality it's a terrible pass in the first place.
It's because then they can say it was hey, the ball got to him.
Yeah,
right. It's on him,
dude, it's a
me.
hospital ball.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Aziel Jackson probably received like 5 or 6 hospital balls last night.
Can you please explain for the crowd what a hospital ball
Hospital
is?
ball is when someone plays you a pass when like the defender is about as close as me and Riley are to each other right now, to where he is gonna 2-foot me and take this ball and
put
send
you in
me,
the hospital.
send me to the ER. But yeah, it's unacceptable pass, and we have a lot of them. I think Aziel Jackson, when he had the ball at his feet, actually looked pretty good last night. Was accurate with his passes, but couldn't really do anything when it came to like forward progressing moves, because every time he was played the ball, the 2 center backs for Chicago were right in front of him. It's like we have to make something happen other than just blasting it at our cam, because we played a somewhat different formation last night in like a 4-1-2-1-2.
Aziel Jackson dispossessed 6 times in the game.
Yeah, well, I don't think it's his fault, man. I think at least 4 of those are hospital balls. Like, it just gets sent to him when he's going to lose it. It makes him look bad.
I do think he looks talented.
I feel like it's a mixture too. Is like how they do a low block, and then we have no offensive like strategy.
Yeah,
So there's a mixture. Like there's so many people in that area, and then we're like, oh, what are we supposed to do anyway?
Yeah.
Like before they even have a lot of people, we're just like, it just stuck.
Dude, the only thing that looked dangerous outside of dead ball situations last night was when Celio got the ball near the line.
Oh yeah,
Like the touch line.
took off.
Yeah, because he can run at people.
Yeah.
And I know it's out of necessity, and hope to God that we have Klaus back this weekend because we need him. But if we are going to start Celio in more and more games, we need some kind of positional or tactical change to like a 4-3-3 or the 4-4-2 with him starting outside on the left, because he is at his best, which is very good. I think he's one of the best players on our squad when he's able to receive the ball at the touchline and run at players.
Yeah, I agree.
And I was disappointed with him last night because his finishing, and he was watching Disney movies, man. He just took his time on a few opportunities.
Or would
that
he take the shot? He would just pass it
he
off.
just pass it off. I'm like, dude, blast it. Like, I don't care. We need to get
put it on
something on
target.
target.
Yeah.
If you ain't shooting, you ain't scoring, man.
They weren't hungry for the cup, none of them, except for Miggy, because at this point, he's slowly becoming that CDM role, and we saw it with Blum coming back last night.
But Blum played a right back.
Yeah,
Came
he
on
came
and
in
played
for-
right back. Yeah.
Well,
came
I
in
just
for
remember
Watts.
that one. He had that one run towards
Yeah.
the end of the game where he just took off after winning a tackle that like made me feel like he was back in his same CDM role. That is like where we look solid as a club. I think those defensive midfielders who stand in front of the back line, those players that we can swap out do look good. I think even Vasilev, putting him back there, I think he looks good and comfortable in the role.
But that's it right now. That's
Yeah.
the
No,
only
I-
role on our team that I am comfortable with.
No, I know.
I would say that every other position on the field is kind of up for grabs. Hebert looks great, except for
That
like
mess up.
1 or 2 moments every
Yeah.
game where he's just blind and lets someone run right behind him.
Well, the one thing that some people might have not noticed is I think on the live feed of the game, it kind of looked like the Chicago player who was making that run might have been offsides because we didn't have a good angle of it. But when you go back and watch the replay, Tim Parker is just way back towards Lunt, like in no man's land. Could have pushed,
Playing him on.
could have pushed up, and easily he would have been offsides. But there's no defensive awareness. There's no like game plan for the defense either.
And it was no talking because the guy was like next to Pedro and then like drifts away towards Hebert.
Right.
And it seems like Pedro said nothing to Hebert.
Yeah,
Hebert,
yeah.
like it went over Hebert's head and then saw that the guy had it and he was like, oh.
Shit.
Didn't even
now
know
I
he
gotta
was
run.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then at that point it's like you got try to catch up and it's try to get anything on the ball and he does and it kind of just messes up the goalie, but you can't
Yeah.
do much
Yeah.
about that.
Lunt should have stood tall.
Yeah, I don't know what we can really say about Lunt. I thought he had some actually pretty good saves in terms of acrobatic, like kick saves and a couple of other saves that he had. But
Then it wants to play with the
if
ball.
you kick the ball to the other team and they score instantly off of it, like when that ball gets played back to you as a goalkeeper, you just boot it. Like that.
Yeah.
That should be your first instinct every time.
I feel like that's just a mixture of goalies now. You get shit talked on you if you're not good with your feet.
Right.
If you're not a good shot stopper. Like De Gea, terrible with his feet. Well, now he also sucks at shot stopping.
yeah, but-
Terrible. But like Ederson,
Yeah.
good with his feet, not the greatest shot stopper.
Mhm.
Like now you have to be the best at like all of it, but I agree.
Well,
in
for
that
our-
position,
Well, and for our club where we're not playing
Possession. We're not a possession team.
We're not Man City.
Yeah.
Boot
Boot
it.
it.
Get rid of it.
He gave him a perfect ball just
Boot
to
it.
boot.
And he's like, "Nah, I'm taking a touch.
I'm good.
I'm saucing right
Oh
now."
my God.
Yeah, that one really hurt to give up.
It was
I
rough.
so mad. I
Yeah.
turned it off.
Really?
Then I came downstairs and I turned it back on. I'm not gonna lie. I was so mad.
Dude, I walked out of the room when Miggy scored his goal in like the 89th or whatever, and my family was like, "Don't come back in here."
My roommate ruined the moment. His
Oh,
phone
really?
went off. And he said,
Ah.
"Don't look at your phone."
Dude,
I was
that's
like,
rough.
"Right, don't
Classic.
do that to me."
I hate that. I always set the phone down and
I
just like
throw it across the room.
Anytime I hear a buzz on it, though, I'm like, "Ooh, what happened?"
The 21st century.
Yeah, it's rough.
You don't get to just read about it in the paper on Sunday anymore. You gotta get
coffee
live
and-
notified.
We don't have to bang on our team the whole night. So after all that negative talk, we've got some positives that we can look forward to. I don't think there was anything positive to take away from this game other than Miggy's performance.
The
But-
only positive also is that we're gonna have a rematch and
An instant rematch.
yeah, into
With,
like
with our starting lineup. So all that shit that we talked to Chicago,
Hopefully,
we can hopefully back it up this weekend.
yeah. If we
Jesus.
lose a double to them in less than a week,
Mm-hmm. That's
yeah,
rough.
it's over
Long-
for us.
long
We're
days.
finished. We might have
Dude,
to cancel
I'm-
the podcast for at least a week or two.
I'm
know.
a little scared just because they just fired their coach, Ezra Hendrickson, and they have an intermittent coach. And, like, you see it all the time in all the other leagues in the world. When
You
you
get a boost.
are, yeah, man, new manager bounce.
five attributes to everything.
Everybody gets that +5 on their
It's
FIFA
like a
card.
hunter card.
Dude, it is. It's,
got you,
it's
bro.
crazy. And I really hope it doesn't show this weekend because this is supposed to be our easy stretch of games. And we're getting our players back. Like, we're getting Klaus back. We're getting Blown back. We play Chicago, who is not good.
They're not good.
No, they've
The fact that they
they've
beat
drawn,
us 2-1 is a total crock. They're
they've-
really not that talented. If you
they've-
go back and watch that game, both of the goals were just terrible mistakes from the City squad.
Yeah, and it's all on counterattacking. Like, we cannot play with the ball. We
No,
cannot
back-
afford to give away
Back
an
to the
early goal.
hating
Yes.
Yeah, let's.
I'm
let's
not
we're
done.
finished.
All right, you're not done.
because we won one game against an MLS team since April 1st,
Yeah,
and
Cincinnati.
we won one game against a D3 team.
Yeah.
So I'm not with it. Like I agree. This is our easy stretches, but we tied Colorado,
Oh, we're going to get smacked by LAFC at the end of the month.
and then not even that. It's like you do look forward to the Sporting, and then they beat Seattle.
Right.
Like now, are they that easy of a match? Because we struggled against Seattle. We 3-0. We didn't.
No,
Couldn't
we
do
were-
anything.
Well,
And
it was-
they
yeah,
who was home? Oh, I think
it
Sporting was
it
home.
Yeah,
So
and
We do
it
play
was
Sporting
it was
home.
in Seattle. I don't want to rehash that game because we lost by a lot.
but they didn't, and they're
I
in
know.
last. That was their first win against the number one in the conference.
I haven't seen the highlights yet, so I don't know if what happened in that game.
But we play two lower table teams.
Yeah.
We need to get our rhythm back. We're
Yep.
getting Blown back in the lineup. I don't know if he'll be starting after that Miggy performance.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Or do you play him at right back?
Honestly, you could. Nerwinski does not look good.
I don't know. Yeah,
I would probably rather have Blum there this weekend and possibly the next week just to see how it goes.
My only issue with playing Blom at right back is that he is right-footed, and he is like 1-star weak foot, and I've seen it before where he like.
but he would be a right back. Right back.
Right
Right
back
back,
is
but like to play passes like back to center backs or to the middle of the park with his left. I've just seen him hesitate with his left, which would make me fearful. But I would rather him start over Nowitzki for sure.
The only other takeaway I have from last night is that I am like really surprised with how poor the refereeing in the MLS is. It is worse than I even expected from someone that was told on multiple occasions that the refereeing in the MLS is really bad. Last night, it was awful. Like horrendous.
I
I
feel like
don't
Chicago started flopping from like the first minute.
Yeah,
And
they were
getting
time wasting super hard.
Every call they got, I feel like, and it was just annoying because you would see the replay and then he barely got touched.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's like well documented. Newcastle in the Premier League has like an average time played in terms of the ball being in play of like 56 minutes. If you're a defensive team, it is advantageous to just flop.
Waste time.
It is like disrespectful to the sport, in my opinion. It's disrespectful to the people that come to watch it. I hate it, and I think it's ruining the game, but it's something that we have to live with right now until the rules get changed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I feel like they started wasting time like the 50th minute.
Oh yeah. I mean, when you that's also my thing is like, we deserve to get swagged on and let them like waste time and take their time on goal kicks. We look terrible.
Yeah.
And so I'm always hopeful. Like maybe we don't do it to that extent where it's like 50th minute and like we're taking 30 seconds on a goal kick. Like that would make me upset. But towards the end of the game, I mean, they earned that time to just burn it off the clock.
Yeah.
It sucks, but it's the State of the Union.
State of the Union.
Isn't that the name of Alexi Lawless's podcast?
Yeah, I think it
so.
is, sadly.
That little bastard.
I hate
Hate
him
that
so
guy.
much. But I will give credit to Navarro on Chicago Fire.
Mm-hmm.
He had a good game.
He
I
did.
feel like he was everywhere. Like how Miggy was everywhere for us defensively, he was everywhere for them.
Yeah. I mean, he starts regularly for them. So after the manager firing, last week they played Nashville and lost 3-0. Going into that game, they started Shaqiri in that kind of cam role that we saw Aziel Jackson in, and they played a 3-4-1-2. And they had Przbilko, some Polish guy, and Kutsias up top. And neither of them started this cup game. I don't know if that's similar to Carnell, where we're just rotating because it's not as important to us, which...
That's also bullshit. Let's keep hating for just a second too. Why?
We're coming back.
We don't stop
Like
hating.
I understand, like totally, like give some other guys a chance, but like this is a historic tournament for St. Louis, and to put together some like squad of players that we haven't even seen play in roles that they haven't played in all season, really I feel like is disingenuous to what the Open Cup's all about. Let's go out there and compete and try to win a fucking trophy.
I'm not saying fire Carnell at all. I want to keep him, but should we so we get the 5 attributes?
Yeah, get the team back on.
Yeah.
No,
Not
I don't think so. I still think
I have
that
faith in Carnell.
I still think Carnell is a top 10 manager in the league.
Yeah,
And
I just
for
think
now,
he
that's
needs to
all we
work
need.
on adapting on when the team will just instantly if you get a goal early, like they're gonna sit back. So you got to be like, okay,
There's got to be some
we
kind
got
of
to change something up.
No, for sure.
Yep.
And I don't know, man. We'll see what happens at the weekend. I'm interested to see who's playing, because if Klaus starts, we'll probably see the similar lineup, the 4-4-2, and God, we need it back. Even though it wasn't doing that well before he left the team. I don't know. What do you guys have to say about it? What are we thinking about this weekend?
See,
I know you're going, Riley.
Oh yeah, I feel like lineup wise.
Wait, I don't understand why the Fire play at 2 different stadiums. That game that was played last night was at a place called Seat Geek Stadium, and the game this Saturday is at Soldier Field. So why do they have an MLS stadium if they're not even going to play there? My guess is that nobody buys the tickets, and therefore they just have to use the excess facility at Soldier Field and to just try to get any kind of value. That would be my one guess, but I really honestly don't know what the reason is why they play 2 different places.
Do you think more people show up to that game? Like the one on Saturday?
Probably. It's
sure.
hard. Like I saw people on Twitter talking smack about like, oh well, here was Chicago coming to St. Louis, for a U.S. Open Cup game on a Tuesday, and it's like, man, people work jobs. Like I'm not driving to Chicago on a Tuesday. I'll drive to Chicago on a
during
Saturday.
Week,
It'll be a little busier on Saturday, I think.
Oh, for sure. And I forgot to say this when we were talking about it earlier. I'm not disappointed with the loss last night. Very disappointed for sure. But I think it'll help us. I think that us
if
being
we don't
able
come out
to just focus on the league, not that we shouldn't have like a bounce back performance like you're saying, like come out with the fire on
if
Saturday.
we don't,
We're going to have another one like this.
It's gonna be worse.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like an hour of just hate.
But I think that being able to focus strictly on the league is going to be beneficial for us.
I agree.
It's our first year.
It will be until the League's Cup starts, because we got to play
that's
that.
true.
So, which is, I think it's gonna be a month till then.
Yeah.
So we should be able to focus on just MLS. But I feel like when it comes to the lineup, depending on if Klaus, I feel like that's how I'm with it. Like if Klaus is back, there's this lineup I want to go with. If Klaus isn't back, there's a different lineup I want to go with.
I would agree with that. I think that Carnell needs to realize that
Yeah.
because he hasn't yet.
Because I would start, like I said, if Blom is back, I would put him at right back.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And have Miggy in the midfield?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you can't drop Miggy after that.
No, I agree.
performance. He has
No
to
way.
start.
Well, I think that Miggy got the start purely because it was an Open Cup game. I think if that was like the weekend game, I think that Blom would be starting there. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Blom starting there at the weekend. But
That does make, because when Blom was back, well, he wasn't even injured. There was just a period before he got injured where we were just playing Vasilev and Miggy over him, and he would come on as a substitute for a stretch of like 2 or 3 games.
I'm not sure what that's about. I know that like fitness was an issue for a lot of players at the beginning of the season.
COVID a little bit? Didn't he have COVID?
Oh,
He had some
that
unnamed
makes a lot of
illness.
sense,
I
that
think he
really-
had COVID, yeah.
Yeah.
But then I would go Blom, Parker, Hebert, and Nelson. Berkey in goal. I don't want to see.
Lunt.
I don't even want to say his name.
That's a given.
I don't even want to say his name.
It's a given.
He
Yeah.
should not play again.
Dude, those are the kind of mistakes that you
I-
don't touch an
I
MLS field
can't-
ever again. Like,
I don't want to go with that. And then Miggy and I'm going with a 4-2-3-1.
Okay.
So I have Miggy and Vasilev as them holding, and then Leuven as the camish, and then Stroud and Celio on the wings with Nico up top if Klaus is out.
Mhm.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to see this last weekend.
Yeah.
Was that return to the 4-2-3-1
Mhm.
where we don't have the personnel to play the 4-4-2.
I don't, especially right now when people
like
are hurt.
Leuven should not be playing up top.
No,
I understand that we tried it out, but it obviously does not work.
Yeah.
He's a great player.
I think
had a bad
Celio
game.
up top too. He needs, like you said, he has to be on the wing. He has to receive the ball so he can run at people.
Yeah.
Having him up top, like having to play back
Some
to
kind-
goal.
Oh, dude,
is
the amount of
not
times
the way.
yesterday where people were trying to play it into him from the midfield and he was running back towards our midfield and like the defender was on his back and just shoved him.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't have the strength to
Oh.
play that position.
He's a little boy.
He is. He's not like little, but he's little in
Yeah.
comparison to Klaus and
Center
Nico.
backs.
Yeah, in comparison to center backs. You guys got anything else to say? I'm hoping. What's score predictions?
I say we fire back and we beat Chicago in Chicago 3-0, and I can give the middle finger to Fire fans as I'm walking out of Soldier Field.
All right,
I'm going to
here for
say 2-1.
okay. So we get them back with the same scoreline.
Yes.
Call it even.
Yeah.
All right.
What you got?
I was gonna say 3-0 as well. I think we come out with the fire this weekend. I think Klaus gets one. I think Nico gets one.
Okay, I actually take it back because then I realized Berkey's going to be in goal.
Yeah.
So it's actually 2-0.
Okay.
Berkey's
Gotcha.
not.
He's not letting that in.
And I have beef with you.
About what?
The start, sell, cut.
Oh, because of the.
You
I said
s-
Berkey.
Yeah, but like you're saying that in the MLS we can find a better goalkeeper.
what I told
That makes. I'm sorry, but that makes no sense.
No. I'm not
A
saying.
guy that's
I
playing-
didn't say better.
Okay, I agree, but he has saved us in so many games. What was that one where he had like 7 saves?
That was against Colorado.
Like we would have lost that.
Yeah.
A Colorado who was in last too.
You
But
put an
that's-
MLS goalie in there, and we're probably
we're
losing. We're probably
getting
losing, like,
Brazil.
All right. At the end of the day,
7-1.
Berkey is an MLS goalie at this point because there are moments where he does not look good and he doesn't try that hard. My argument, look, Berkey is better than most of the goalies in the MLS, probably all of them, if I'm being honest. But I think that finding value for money, he's one of our designated players.
Yeah,
Obviously, we haven't filled that third slot, but we can allocate that money elsewhere and get a great, I don't know, Cam,
But starting
which we desperately need right now.
Leuven, who has 1 assist in the last 6 games as a
Yeah.
midfielder, I don't. That's why I don't know. I wasn't on the pod, but like
He's
mine would be start Berkey,
Bench Klaus, and then sell Leuven?
Well,
Really?
because Klaus's goals speak for himself.
Yeah.
People in our group chat say I'm a Klaus hater. False
Dude,
accusation.
if a striker's scoring, you can hate on him all you want,
Yeah.
but he's still putting them
Like
away.
I hate Vinny.
He keeps
but
putting them
he's-
away.
but
Yeah.
he puts them away.
Sorry,
One
I
thing
didn't
that
mean to
I'm-
bring that up. I know you're a City fan.
One thing I am wholly disappointed in Leuven with is at least 3 or 4 times a game, I will watch him play a ball to someone, and as a player, you can be disappointed in other people, but he's like 30. He's supposed to be like a leader, and someone will mishandle the pass that he plays, and he gets pissed and like puts his head down and starts like mumbling and like throwing his hands and stuff.
That's what
I'm
I'm
like,
say.
dude, that is not a leader.
Well, and then like towards the end of that Chicago game, that just reminded me of another situation where Leuven starts basically at midfield and is just like probably based off of, oh, well, you know what? I can't pass the ball to anybody. I can't trust any of my teammates. Proceeds to just like try to dribble through every single Chicago Fire player just to get dispossessed in the box when he has 3 teammates standing around him.
He gets mad, and I think he like forces things, like forces passes or forces runs.
He does,
and it's not working.
That's why he got dispossessed a lot last night and lost a lot of duels. That's why I thought he had a really bad game.
I
last
did too.
night. Maybe he thought he had to do more than he did to win that game. But he was for sure holding on to the ball way too long.
And Twitter was saying he was having a good game, which is I'm just confused.
He was like a little creative, but I just thought it was more...
I feel like people get a little like starstruck with he'll have one like crazy like scoop pass.
Yeah,
like, great game.
Yeah, he had a great scoop pass to Celio where he was like back to goal at like near the top of the box and like Scoop turned it around himself and played it in for Celio, and Celio didn't do anything with it. But that was really good. But other than that, I can't tell you what he did last night.
I agree with you. Like if we're bringing in these big, high profile designated players to play, we want them not to think that they're hot shit and that they're the man. We want them to build up the team and make everybody better. And we haven't seen it with Leuven yet.
I will say this. If Jared Stroud was playing on my team and I saw him stand there and not shoot the ball for as long as he did last night or mishandle as many passes as he did last night, I would be throwing my hands in the air and yelling. I'd be screaming. I'd be furious.
Well, I think we're excited about Chicago. They're still, we were highly critical in this episode.
Second in the league.
Hey, we will die for this fucking club.
It was just from St. Louis. Like, we expect a lot. Like, it's unfair, but if you start out how we did, this is why
expectations change.
That's
man.
what I'm saying.
Like, they have to change based off where we are, and where we are is second in the league right now, and we've only won 1 in our last 7.
And we're already dealing with the Cardinals being bad.
Yeah.
So
we need a little bit of injection from the St. Louis City side.
We're hoping to get it from you.
Like the people said, we're either depression or aggression.
Depression or aggression.
Full depression right now.
Yeah,
and we're bringing the aggression on Saturday, guys.
Absolutely.
That's all we got for this episode of Soul of the City. Check us out on social media, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, wherever you guys get your content. We are probably already there. You guys have yourself a great week, and we will see you Sunday.
Peace. Thank you for watching this episode of Soul of the City, brought to you by First Touch Media and Anchor FM. Make sure to check us out on YouTube at First Touch Media, and all of our socials are at First Touch 314. Thank you for watching.